Om Shanti. In the ocean of emotions, I have brought a rosary of beads. Somebody has beautifully said that fragrance comes from perfumed clothes, but the magic is when it comes out of our character, our personality. Spirituality gives fragrance to our thoughts, our actions, and our sanskars. A long time ago, there was a king who had 3 thoughts in his mind, and these thoughts troubled his mind a lot. He used to go to different saints and ask them these 3 questions. He wanted to know who is God and what does he do and what is the power of God. Nobody was able to give him the accurate answer. Then he thought in his mind, whosoever gives the right and correct answer, he thought in his mind, if somebody answers these 3 questions, he will give them a award. So he announced this, and after listening to this announcement, there was a young son who told his father that he wanted to answer those 3 questions. His father was scared. He said that you are too young to give this answer, but he insisted, and his father brought him into the king's court. So when he entered the court of king, he said to king, this is how you treat a guest in your court. A guest has come into your court, you should greet him. And then king asked, how should I greet you? Then the son said, that young boy said, bring me a glass of milk. So he said that if you churn the milk, then you get this butter out of the milk. So if you want to meet God, you have to do the churning of your thoughts, churning of those knowledge. It's not that easy to meet the God. Then the second question he answered by taking the king into the dark room. Then he asked the king that if I have to remove the darkness of this room, what should be done? The king said, he asked, how many candles do I need to lit up this room to get rid of the darkness? Then king said, only 1 candle is enough. Then he replied that 1 thought can lead to the communion with God. So you just need 1 small candle to eliminate the darkness. Who's the closest to the candle, more he is closer to God. The king got excited and he asked 3rd question. The young boy said, I'll give answer to your 3rd question, but you tell me one thing. The king asked, what? Then he said, are you asking this question being my disciple or king? Then king said, of course, as a disciple. Then he said, then why are you sitting on throne? You should come down and meet me And as soon as he got down from his throne, the son climbed up the stairs and sat on the throne. And then he said, I don't need to give answer to this third question. So this is the power of God, that he can make a servant a king and king a servant. So this Raj Yoga meditation is not something we should listen to. This is we should practice. I have been associated with Brahma Kumaris and Raj Yoga meditation since childhood. I was just 2 months old and they used to take me to the center, Brahma Kumari center. And I learned this Raj Yoga meditation since childhood. Then I experimented and I researched how I can use this meditation in science and research. And I wanted to prove it scientifically. And I wanted to experience this in my life. This journey I started since my childhood. Now I have concised this whole experience and this whole knowledge of 50 years into 5 experiences. I have experimented many things with Raj Yoga meditation in my own life on myself. The way the science is bringing a change by using AI and genomes, this spirituality also will bring a transformation in your life. This will make you realize how can you convert the impossible into possible. You can utilize this knowledge, this meditation, this Raj Yoga power in your life, in your relationships, in your profession, in any way possible. You can create a magic everywhere in all your actions. Today, I'll try to empower and bring to the surface, emerge your special powers which are inherited, ingrained in you through this Raj Yoga meditation and sharing the experiences. How would you feel once you get to know that this person who's speaking to you is using 80% of his listening through devices because of that hearing problem? He can just listen 20% but uses 80%. In my own story, I'll prove how we can get rid of our own ailments and diseases through Raj Yoga meditation. On 20th March 2003, I became a cardiologist and I came back home from the hospital. I was having severe headache and I wanted to rest. After 2 hours of rest, when my mother gave a cup of ice cream in my hand and I collapsed and that ice cream cup fell off my hand. I did not have any scarcity. I had the success, the qualification, education, everything, prosperity. That day I realized my whole life changed. Nothing was important in my life, neither wealth nor success. I was having seizures. Next day, when my brain was scanned. There was a large infected mass which was resistant to any antibiotic. It was multi-drug resistant TB. I was resistant to 18 drugs. I was having a mycocin injection every day, and that injection caused loss of hearing. I had to take 16 tablets in a day, 8 tablets in the morning, 8 tablets in the evening, and I used to have such pain in my head, on right side of brain, on right side of head. But I did not let my mind and my soul experience sorrow during that period too. I realized that I have to win over and conquer my thoughts, my emotions, my mind and intellect. And I landed myself in the pandemic of imbalance, work-life balance. God has made our life very simple, but our thought process, our mindset confuses and entangles our life. Then I thought, if my life has been entangled like jalebi in sugar syrup, let me dip myself into the sugar syrup, soak myself in it and experience the sweetness of life. I was very enthusiastic about my career, my success, that I had not maintained work-life balance. Then I underwent surgery and they removed that mass from my brain. I still kept taking the medications, but still I used to experience headache. In 2006 January, I got to know there was another lesion in my brain. The best doctors in the country used to design my regimes, and I was undergoing treatment from the renowned and expert doctors. Everyone was telling that it was quite difficult. As I was practicing Raj Yoga meditation since childhood, I realized I need to do something different. I met Gulzar Dadiji, who was the Joint Chief of Brahma Kumaris, and I asked her that this is recurring again to my brain. Then Dadiji said that you are a yogi soul and you should practice and experiment yoga on your body. That time nobody believed in meditation. Everybody used to say scientifically that meditation is fine, but how can it change the structure of your body and how can it affect your brain in such a disease? But I was determined that I will do it. On 4th January 2006, I started getting up early in the morning and I started programming my mind, my brain, and I was visualizing that this lesion, this disease is going out of my brain. Nobody believed that meditation can cause healing. Every doctor was telling me that we should approach this doctor, that doctor, but I refused. And I started practicing and experimenting meditation on my healing. I kept practicing this power of meditation, the healing power of meditation to heal my body for 1 year. I used to charge my water, used to charge my food with the power of meditation. After 1 year, when my scans were done, lesion disappeared from my brain. People used to tell me that this was magic in my life, and I used to call it the power of manifestation, the power of belief. As doctors, we are programmed and tuned to having scientific evidence. We don't believe something which does not have any scientific evidence. Then I realized I must know the science that's working. Now you will say that this happened to you, Dr. Mohit Gupta, but how? It doesn't mean that it will happen to everyone. Let me tell you, there are 50 trillion cells in our body. This body works like an orchestra. Today, with the power of our thoughts, this Raj Yoga meditation rewires our brain cells, every single cell of our body. And this can bring about change. This is called as neuroplasticity. And this theory was based on nerve cells that wire together can nerve cells that fire together can wire together. The thought you repeatedly create in your mind and thought you believe in will reprogram your brain within 17 seconds. It will create a new circuit in your brain, and once you do it repeatedly 5 times during a day, there will be a new manifestation in your body, in your life. Consistency is the key and belief is the catalyst, friends. Science has proved it nowadays. Dr. Ellen Langer, those people who are having glaucoma, diabetes, those who were not recoverable, he cured them of all those diseases. He reprogrammed their minds. There are so many scientific experiments. Their blood sugar levels were decreased and brought under control of diabetic people. Today, we have patients who are on 4 drugs, 3 drugs for hypertension control. Today, we teach them meditation, and we have treated them and reduced the number of medications from 3-4 to 1, and the dose also has been reduced, and this has been done only through the power of meditation, the Raj Yoga meditation. We can change our lives, we can create magic in our lives with Raj Yoga meditation. Raj Yoga repeatedly gives you new energy in your mind. When you repeat consistently, repeatedly, that will reverse the disease or reduce the disease significantly. The patients who are in terminal illness like cancer, heart attacks, cardiomyopathy, we generate a new belief system in their minds and regressing their disease. We are trying to reverse their disease to a certain extent. This is the power of meditation. My second story is on the essence of relations. Friends, in 2018, it was evening 9:30 p.m. I used to operate routinely. We are the biggest center, and the number of procedures we do are the highest in the country, in Asia. Our labs start from 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. I used to leave my hospital. At 9:30, there was a young boy, 19-year-old, who was brought to the hospital with a massive cardiac arrest. and we had lost him almost. They said, do your best. We put him on the ventilator and artificial pacing system. We angiographed by massaging the heart. We removed the thrombus from each artery and we achieved blood flow in the arteries. After 1.5 hours of work, we tried to achieve 60% blood flow. My mind was telling that this boy will not survive. Next day when I went on rounds, I realized that that young boy was on ventilator. His ECG was stabilized, his vitals were stable. No artificial support was needed. Doctors were happy, sisters were happy, his relatives were happy, and I was very happy that we were able to save him. He was 22-year-old young person, married with 4 daughters, non-hypertensive, no lipid imbalance. Why this massive cardiac arrest happened? Then I thought inside my mind, something wrong is happening. I talked to his wife and then I talked to his father. His father told me that his wife was dumb because they were on the verge of divorce. I called upon that young girl who was his wife. She brought a 4-month-old daughter inside my room. We had already extubated that boy, the 22-year-old boy. I started talking to his wife. You listen and then it will clear your mind. I asked her what's wrong is happening in your life. Then she said, sir, we are on a 6-digit salary. We have a Mercedes, we have 4-bedroom. We have everything in our life, but we are not connected well with each other. We don't get time for each other. We don't have any emotional connection between us. We have 4-month-old daughter. We have all the advanced technologies, gadgets in our house, but we don't have time for family. We don't have time to understand each other's feelings, everyone's emotions. I just kept quiet. Then I asked, you want to separate from him? Then she said yes. They were going to be divorced after 1 month. I told her, do one thing for 1 month. I just said, both of you have to do dinner together at 8 o'clock in the evening. There should not be any television on. Just sit together, talk, argue, try to understand each other's feelings, but have one meal together at night, 8 p.m. She agreed. Then I said, I am going to discharge your husband, but I will follow up in OPD only on one condition. And she asked what? That one condition is that you will bring him in the OPD while holding his hand. She refused, but then I said, just on my request, do it once. Come for the follow-up while holding his hand. They started holding each other's hand. They walked hand in hand into my chamber. They started having dinner together, and then 1 month converted into 4 months. That 4-month-old daughter has turned into 4-year-old now, and the divorce case she has withdrawn now. That's the day I realized that Raj Yoga meditation is not that we sit in silence and just remember God, but it is the power that makes this world a Satyug, a golden age. It connects our brains, it connects our minds, it heals our relationships too. That time I started doing experiments in my hospital, and you must look at those experiments. You will be amazed to know. I took 150 people, 150 children who had heart attacks in the age group of 18 to 30 years. I operate 130 to 140 cases, and maximum of my cases are in the age group of 18 to 30 years. Yesterday I operated 18 cases. One was 17 years, another was 19 years. Why is this happening? And I started measuring their stress levels. And I wanted to understand what stress are they going through in their lives. There are so many questions which are validated in this study. We drew their blood samples and measured telomere length, genetic age, the age of cells we tried to measure. 50, 60, 80, this is the age of your body, but cells have a different age which we call as telomere length, and see what were the results. Their physical age were 18 to 35 years, but their genetic age was, just look at the red graph, that was 60 to 90 years old old person's age. In the body of 18 to 30 years, they had 60 to 90 years old genetic age. I was shocked. There were no risk factor. Look at this white paper that we published where we analyzed the psychosocial stress. 91% of them had severe level of psychosocial stress, anger, lack of love, lack of happiness, lack of gratitude in their lives. We should have the attitude of gratitude in our lives. When I told them to be thankful, just check within yourself, look at yourself. Are you getting irritated at trivial things, resentment, getting upset, lack of happiness in lives? These emotions are destroying their genes. When we further analyzed, we observed that those who do not have any life purpose, those people who have high ego, where ego is governing their lives, their actions, those who don't have any loveful connections in their life, those have short telomere length, and there how the genetic age keeps increasing, the age of cells. That's how this anxiety, depression, these diseases are increasing in our society in young generation. Look at this, what happens when we have love in our lives, gratitude in our lives. Our telomere length is increasing, and it keeps on increasing. You have the power to reverse your aging with meditation. This was phenomenal. This is where our research started. We analyzed healthcare workers and these children who were having heart attacks. We taught the healthcare workers and those children Raj Yoga meditation. Those who listened to stress management lectures, they did not have any transformation in their life, but who practiced meditation online, offline, anxiety, depression significantly decreased in those people. This message I want to convey today to all of you. Your thought, your mindset, your attitude, outlook towards life is making your life. This is a this is a Harvard study by Dr. Robert. Harvard's Grant and Glick study. They studied 456 poor men growing up in Boston, and they wanted to know one factor that determined their success and happiness in their lives. It was not money, not education, not achievement. There was a single factor. It was their good relationships in their lives. Raj Yoga meditation makes our lives, our homes, and our relationships beautiful. Meditation doesn't mean that we have to just remember God, but when you remember God, you create beautiful relationships with your family members, your professional colleagues, and experiencing this joy in relationships is the outcome of Raj Yoga meditation. This has changed my approach towards healing. We have a meditation room in our hospital. You can just walk into our lab and you will find the difference between the vibrations of the hospital and the meditation room in that government hospital. You will find abundance of joy, happiness in that meditation room. This is what wonder can meditation create in your life. I tell you, today it's the time to move from high tech. Inculcate along with high tech, high touch in your life. In today's world, the respect we have gained in this society, ask yourself, have we experienced that peace, that calmness in our mind too with that respect? Today the science is showing that we have been gifted with the power to regulate our genes. We can reverse this genetic aging by increasing the telomere length. Diabetes finished, hypertension finished. We spread patience, increase patience rather than patience. My third story is on the power of resilience. In difficult circumstances, we all face those difficult circumstances, challenging circumstances. I was a state level badminton player. I used to play badminton almost every day. On 21st March 2013, I was practicing sports in Delhi and I had a severe injury while playing. I was not able to move even an inch. I fell in the badminton court. I used to meet my orthopedic friends and neurologists, and I used to tell them to treat me, cure me. I had a dragging pain with radiation to my leg. I had fracture in my spine. Every day when I used to get up, I used to create one single thought that I want to play badminton again. I want to play sports again. And the doctors used to tell me that they would not do any surgery, they will do physiotherapy. They stopped even taking my calls when I used to call them because I insisted them to treat me, cure me, because I wanted to go back to my work, go back to my sports and go back to my activities. 8 months it was dragged. On 17 January 2014, I was admitted in the hospital. I did not tell any one of my family members that I was being operated, and I told my friend to operate. Look at the picture on the first day of my operation. My face was completely spoiled. After 8 hours of surgery, my spine was fixed. I was so happy despite the pain of surgery. I had a smile on my face because I was excited that now I would go back to my sports. Screws were implanted. These are the screws which were implanted on my spine. I came back home. I started moving out of my bed. I started moving gradually. I had hope. I had vision. I kept thinking I'm going to be fine and I'll go back to my work again. And I believed that I would go back in my full form. And in just a month, I just joined my hospital. In in 1 year, I was able to walk up to 6 kilometers. And 12 years down the lane, I'm able to walk for almost 20 kilometers and climb stairs every day. That is the power of resilience. That is the power of meditation. Raj Yoga meditation tells us a person who has a why to live can bear almost any harm. Our body without a purpose in our lives is like a body without our soul. Everyone who asks me what is the purpose of your life, today I have the higher purpose that I would like to serve the people. I would like to serve the society. This is the power that meditation gives us. There would be challenges in your lives. There would be problems in your lives. My third message is don't spiral in this problem. Learn to evolve out of those problems through Raj Yoga meditation. It gives you, it tells you that challenges would come, but that supreme power, when you make God your chariot of your life, that Shri Krishna did not only was the chariot of only the Arjuna, but it is the chariot of our lives too. There will be challenges in your life, but that God says that I'll steer your life and I will rescue you from your all problems. But you have to make one effort of that one single thought. I will be there with you as a backbone, but you have to believe. I don't use God as my spare wheel. It's not when our tire punctures, then we remember God as a spare wheel. I use Him as a main wheel. My fourth story is the magic of manifestation. People ask, can we achieve anything in our lives with the power of meditation? Any dream we can achieve? We want a good car, penthouse, success. Can we achieve that with the power of thoughts? And the answer is big yes, my friends. I came back from Johns Hopkins, America, and I was studying cardiology. I came back from America to India because I wanted to live with my family. Secondly, I was doing gastro in America, but I wanted to do cardiology, and there were only 5 seats in India. Those 5 seats were occupied it was competed with, I used to compete with my friends, my colleagues, my seniors, and it was very difficult to get seat. I do remember telling my mother that it's very difficult to clear the exam and get one seat out of those 5 seats in such a hard competition. But she said, think positive. Then she asked me how many seats are available. Then I said 5. And then my mother asked, how many seats do you want? He said 1. So she said, just focus on 1 seat. Forget about other 4. And I just kept thinking that this 1 seat is for me. And I believed in it. At that time, I was doing my senior residency in AIMS. On 9th February 2002, it was my exam. There were 6,000 people to appear for that exam. After appearing for the exam at 12:30, I came out of the room. Everybody was discussing, they were discussing the answers to different questions among each other, but nobody was discussing it with me. My teacher said, "You go home." And my teacher said to me, "You go home. At 6 p.m. we will give you a question paper with 100 questions and you start practicing and appear for this exam next year." I was very disappointed and I came back home. I started remembering God and I thought that I don't want to study further. 15 days later, when the result came, my rank in the country was first. At that time, I scored 95%, and this second, third, fourth, and fifth rank was 73, 74, 75%. I call this as magic of manifestation. When you glue your intention with imagination and do not interfere with science, when you conglomerate your thoughts with your goal, your objectives, then universe brings that manifestation in front of you. People call it law of attraction, magic of manifestation. I call it don't attract. There is a science behind that. It's not that only thinking will bring the manifestation into your life. Don't just attract. When we imbibe that God's power in our thoughts, the thoughts in your mind that this will not happen, this is not possible, this is your emotional brain, which we call it as lizard brain, amygdala. This is the job of amygdala, to create fear, anxiety, worry in our lives. They generate such negative emotions repeatedly. When there's a point of uncertainty in our life, our working brain, the decisive brain, this amygdala hijacks that brain. Raj Yoga stabilizes our emotional center. You have been listening since very long. Stability has a great power. We'll keep getting unstable emotional situations in our life, but with Raj Yoga meditation, we stabilize our amygdala. It doesn't fire. When our emotional brain is in our control, our logical brain works faster. This is the mantra that why the saints and the people with experience of Raj Yoga meditation will achieve with very minimum efforts. People will keep saying that he did not work hard and still he got such success in his life. This is because of Raj Yoga meditation. This is how our life works. So friends, when you leave tomorrow from this place, take this blessing from Madhuban, that whatever I want, it's on its way. And don't think that it is coming to me, it's already done. It's done, it's done. I tell my patients, don't say that I'll get better, I'll heal. Say, I have already healed, I'm already better. Whatever you want to create outside must first be created in your mind. Whatever you want or desire in your life, create a blueprint of that particular thing in your mind, visualize it, and God's power will manifest that into your life. Why what we dream is not created, it's not manifested in our lives? Because of our emotional brain, because of those contradictory thoughts, whether I would be able to make it, achieve it. When khichdi is prepared in our cooker, it will heal our body, but when khichdi is created in our mind, it disturbs our life. Raj Yoga meditation clears off this khichdi in our mind, it declutters our mind, it brings healing in our mind, and we can create magic in our lives. This is what we are gifted with. Cooker will remain the same, but ingredients we have to collect. The thoughts of creativity, thoughts of magic you have to plant in your mind. My fifth story is the magic of small change. Small changes in our life can create magic in our lives. When I came back from America at that particular time, my weight was 96 kgs. I was suffering from diabetes, thyroid, hypertension. Look at my picture when I was in America. I was so obese. I came back and I asked my uncle, and I wanted to become cardiologist. My uncle said, if you want to become a cardiologist, you should look like a cardiologist. Your personality should be like a cardiologist. And he said very innocently, but it touched my heart. And on 19 July 2001, I changed my diet and lifestyle patterns. I made my diet as Sattvic diet, and I converted the exercise into high quality exercise. I complemented my studies with exercise. Till 9th February 2002, the day of my exam, I had lost weight. I was cured of diabetes, hypertension, and my thyroid was completely cured. Until this morning, I have maintained the same schedule every day in my life. Remember, Raj Yoga meditation will bring transformation or change in your life when the thing we appreciate with our clappings should be imbibed in our lives, in our mind. Just don't go back with happiness, but reprogram your mind and take this reprogrammed mind with you when you leave from this place. Keep God with you every day. Make God your companion. It's all about those small changes that you create magic in your lives. Consistency is the key. Today, I do so many workshops and my sessions. My day starts with the remembrance of God early in the morning. This is what I adore. He's there to energize me. I feel his energy, I absorb his energy. I take all the energy from him to reprogram my mind. I program my mind every night for next day. I do 5 lovely practices. I start my day with magic of meditation, and the day goes according to me. The power of consistency, the power of change. Change is never an event. Change is always a process. And my dear friends, my last story. There are no justified resentments. Most of us believe that let me tell you that I have anger in my life, I have irritation in my life, I used to have competitive feeling. I was jealous of people in my lives despite practicing meditation. After years and years of having these feelings, it was only and only harming me. I must confess, we all experience this stage in our lives. Circumstances are not according to us, people criticize us, and we keep things to our heart. We get irritated after looking at them. We start becoming aggressive or we become angry, but these emotions harm our mind, our body, our lives. We have that revengeful thought in our mind that I'll see him. And tell me, should we take revenge from that person who has harmed us? Oh, you are so good. No one wants to take revenge. Okay, let me ask you another thing. The person who has done harm to me 5 years ago, I must take revenge, and that with 5% interest. Anyone who's with me, there are so many hands who are raised. Just take a video of all these people. Tell me, yes or no, should we take revenge? Shall we do one exercise? For 3 days, will we do this exercise? Yes or no? Please raise your hands if you want to do this, and you will do this with us. Brahma Kumari's exercises are very simple. For 3 days, you have to just one simple exercise. When you go back home for 3 days, when they would be cleaning in your house, of your bathroom, of your kitchen, of your bedroom, just collect the garbage and decorate in your drawing room, the living room. Will you do that? Nobody is raising the hand. Nobody is wanting to do that. This is pure cheating. Tell me, who will do this? Will you do the cleaning of your house every day or sometimes, occasionally? Everybody is saying every day. When you want to clean your house every day, why don't you clean your mind every day? Just look at your mind just now, at this very moment. Just introspect, reflect. Just see in your mind the anger, the irritation, the jealousy, hatred, the competitive feeling, the criticism, complaining attitude, expectations. All these negative emotions have harmed us, our complete lives. You go anywhere, you go to temple, you go to mosque, go to church, whatever you do chanting, whatever you do, if you have kept anger, jealousy, hatred in your own mind, he will never be happy, and he can never make others happy, and he cannot make even God happy. Praying God and meditating with God is to clear your mind, declutter your mind, free your mind of these negative emotions, the hatred, jealousy, anger. Let us cleanse our soul every day. Like we clean our body every day, let us cleanse our soul also every day. We should have good feelings, good wishes for everyone. We should accept people as they are. Use this triple formula in your life, and you will eliminate all the problems of relationships from your life. First, accept all people. Accept people as they are. Second is appreciate people at every little thing, at every trivial thing. Value them. And third is give affection, give love to people. Where there is love, affection, appreciation, acceptance, there will be transformation. Have you seen God doing this? That he brought a weapon and killing everyone. We are God's child. We are God's children, God's angels. When God is appreciating us every day, why can't we do? Here at Brahma Kumari's, every day your mind is nurtured with good feelings, good thoughts, good messages, blessings. Nurture your mind. There is no Rama or Ravana outside. Only Ram, Ravan is in our minds. If you water good seeds in your mind of positive emotions, it will become Rama. And when you when you water the seeds of negative emotions, then it will become Ravana. Enlighten your mind, enlighten these pure feelings inside. Out of 1440 minutes, I'm telling you, only 1440 daily opportunities to enlighten yourself. Raj Yoga meditation is one of the most powerful epigenetics. It can create miracles. These are the white papers published by us. Those healthcare workers who had burnout and psychological problems, we reduce their anxiety, burnouts, anxiety, depression, and we normalize and stabilize them. Charging is important. Like you charge your mobile or laptop, you should also charge your mind with innate qualities of your soul, with God's knowledge, with God's power, with God's love, with God's peace. When these 6 qualities come into our soul, our lives, then we experience that super sensuous joy. That's the beauty of Raj Yoga meditation. Finally, at last, you will ask, does this Raj Yoga meditation actually affect our mind? This is the brain scan. If we scan the brain of a normal person, you will see the clutter, unbalanced brainwave patterns. And look, after 15 minutes of Raj Yoga meditation, what synchrony happens in 20 minutes of magical practice of meditation. Magnetoencephalogram pictures will show how that synchronization of emotions and mental stability with Raj Yoga meditation can bring changes in the brain waves. We can create magic. Normal persons are working from their left brain. Our left brain is analytical, reasoning, strategic, but it gives us 50% success. But those who practice Raj Yoga meditation, we utilize our right brain, emotional brain. Our right brain is passionate, loving, creative. It also controls our left brain and guarantees 100% success in our lives. This is the magic meditation can do in our lives. At last, I would like to say that we would I don't know whether we would meet again in our lives, but you will remember that there was a person who had created a sensorium in our lives, that we should realize God's power, understand the power of meditation. There is a story where a man asked God, so is there a path of liberation? And the God answered that you remember one thing just a day before your death. So he was very surprised. He asked, just a day before, if I practice that and I would get liberation. And then he said, but how would I know when will be my day of death? He said, that's what's the point is, you start doing it every day, because you don't know when your death comes. To make this day a memorable day, here is a profound message of Brahma Kumaris. Keep that message with you, that today is the first day of the rest of your life. This day will become the first day of the rest of your life. And this will be decided by just one single thought. If you want to transform your life, with one thought you can change your attitude. And when your attitude changes, then our actions change. And with that, we change our culture. And when we change our culture, this world also changes. This is the Raj Yoga meditation power and magic. So let's experience deep silence for next 30 seconds because we have a short time. And we will imbibe this experience in our soul. Whatever I'll say, just follow that. Look at yourself in deep silence. Put a full stop of all the thoughts. Magical peace, like ocean of peace, like an idol in the temple, like a pearl in a shell. Same way, I am a peaceful and powerful soul. Look at your mind. See the anger in your mind. See the irritation in your mind. Negative thoughts coming into your mind. Observe them. This is my mind. Experience God's powers, God's love and purity is cleansing my mind and making it beautiful. Experience peace and love. This is my being. Every single of my body is at peace and at a perfect state. I'm experiencing perfect health. Look at your relationships. Love in every relationship. Look at your future. Manifest. Manifest success. Manifest happiness. Everything perfect, magical, unbelievable, according to me, incredible. I am a powerful soul. Experience the state of being. And this would be the first day of my life. God is my companion and chariot of my life. He is with me always. He is walking hand in hand with me. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.